And we are gonna actually start on our back today. So we're gonna get deep into the hips. And yes, this is Owl Venice on Abbott Kenny. So if you have checked us out online but haven't been in, this is our shop. So yeah, okay, we're gonna get started. Good question. So we're gonna lie on our backs. And let's come to a constructive rest. So you'll bring the feet onto the mat. Take your feet out as wide as the mat and then knock your knees in together. Bring one hand to your lower belly, one hand to your heart. And then start to take a few deep breaths in and long breaths out. Feeling yourself settle and land. With each inhalation, can you send your breath all the way to the bottom of the belly, below the belly button? And then with each exhalation, can you let yourself sink and surrender a little bit more into the earth? A few more deep breaths in. Long breaths out. Stay here in this constructive rest. And then you're going to go ahead and extend your arms and your legs out long on the mat. So reach your arms up overhead. Flex your feet, cross your right ankle on top of the left ankle, and then your left hand's going to grab hold of your right wrist. Take your feet and move your feet over to the left side of the mat, and then take your hands and move your upper body, shoulders included, over to the left side of the mat. And then just gently start to tug the right hand with your left hand. So it's like you're trying to just gently pull a sleeve off the right arm. Flex the right foot and really extend out through the bottom of the right foot. And I want you to feel some length here, all up and down the right side body. Think about breathing space into the right side ribs. One more breath here, inhale. And exhale. And then inhale, come back to center with the arms and the legs, and draw your right knee into your chest and give your right leg a squeeze. And then start to just draw some big circles with the right knee, creating space in that hip socket, waking it up. Reverse direction of the circle, take it the other way. And then draw your right knee back into your chest, and let's take a half happy baby. So the right hand is gonna grab hold of the pinky toe edge of the right foot, and just gently draw the right knee down towards the earth like you're trying to push your knee in your armpit. And then breathe into the space you're creating in the right hip here. One more breath, inhale. And exhale. And then as you inhale, you're gonna cross the right knee over the left knee. So you'll lift the left leg up off of the ground. And then go ahead and grab the pinky toe edges of the feet. So you're coming into a reclined Gomukhasana. Your right hand is holding onto the pinky toe edge of the left foot. Left hand holding onto the pinky toe edge of the right foot. And I want you to pull your feet gently apart and then bend your knees and draw your ankles in towards the body. So this is a reclined Gomukhasana. It's a big external rotation for both hips, but definitely for that right hip, for the top leg. This doesn't need to be your biggest hip opening of the day. We will get deeper, I promise. We're just starting to wake things up in the lower body. Take one more breath here, inhale. And exhale. Go ahead and release your hands from the feet, but keep the legs crossed and bring the left foot onto the ground. The right knee is still crossing over the left. If you have it in you, maybe double wrap the legs. Press into the left foot, lift your hips, move your hips off to the right, and then let both of your knees fall over to the left. Take your right arm out to the right, gaze follows the right hand. Just take a really gentle little spinal twist here. 3 deep breaths. Think about wringing out something that's no longer serving you. one more breath here, inhale. And exhale. Go ahead and release the hands from the feet. Unwrap the legs, come back to center. Press your feet into the earth so you can realign your hips, and then wrap your arms around your legs. Give yourself a squeeze. Take a big, deep breath in. And an open mouth sigh out. Now extend your arms and your legs in opposite directions once more. So arms overhead, legs towards the bottom of the mat. Flex the feet, cross your left ankle over the right, and then your right hand's gonna grab hold of the left foot. Take your feet over to the right corner of the mat, keeping the left foot hooked, and then take your head and shoulders over to the right corner of the mat. So you're again in that banana or hammock-like shape, finding a nice stretch in the left side body. And then your right hand just gently tractions the left wrist over to the right, like you're trying to pull a sleeve off the left arm. Let the left side be heavy. Breathe space into the left side ribs. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more breaths here. Really think about the length now on the left side. Inhaling. And exhale. 1 more. Inhale here. Exhale. Now inhale, come back to center with the hands and the legs. And draw your left leg into the chest. Give your left leg a squeeze. And then start to draw the left knee in big circles, creating some space in your left hip socket. And then reverse, take it the other way. Left knee draws into the chest, and we'll take the half happy baby. So your left hand grabs hold of the pinky toe edge of the left foot, and you'll draw the left knee down towards the armpit. Breathe some space now into the left hip. The right leg still extends. See if you can keep your right thigh heavy to the earth. 2 more breaths here into the left hip. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Go ahead and release the hand from the foot. Cross the left knee on top of the right. Hug your knees into the chest. And grab hold of the feet. So we're going to take that reclined Gomukhasana. The hands are on the pinky toe edges of the feet. And then start to pull the legs apart so that the inner thighs actually hug together. And then you can bend your elbows and draw your ankles in towards the body. So we're getting a big external rotation in the hips, especially in the left hip. Let's take a few deep breaths in and long breaths out. 2 more here. Really breathe space into the hips. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more in. And out. And then go ahead and release your hands from your feet. Drop the right foot onto the floor. Keep the left leg wrapped. Maybe double bind the leg if you have it in you. Press into the right foot, lift your hips, move them over to the left slightly, and then drop both of your knees to the right. Open your left arm out to the left, gaze comes to the left, and let the left shoulder drop heavy towards the earth. Take 3 deep breaths here in this twist. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more. One more breath in, and a long breath out. And then go ahead and unwind the legs, and heel, come back to center. Hug your knees into your chest, realign your hips, give yourself a nice big squeeze. Turn that squeeze into a hug. Tell yourself something you love about yourself. And then take your hands just below the knees, so on the belly of the hamstrings, and then begin to rock up and down the length of the spine. Maybe even massaging out the spine a little bit, getting the blood flowing. And then when it feels good, come all the way up into Navasana, boat pose. So the modification for Navasana will be to keep your hands right here on your thighs, giving yourself a little support. If you want to make it slightly more fiery, you can extend your legs or your arms out in front of you. Now plug your shoulders into their sockets, lift up behind the heart. Imagine there was a hand right between the shoulder blades. lifting you up, and I want you to lean back into that hand and breathe 5 deep breaths into your core. Inhale and exhale. That was 1. We gotta go slow. Keep breathing. Inhale. Exhale, 2. If you feel your core shaking just a little bit, you're getting stronger. Breathe into it. Inhale. Exhale for 3. You can always take your hands to the thighs. Inhale. Exhale, that was 4. You have 1 more breath. Inhale here. And then exhale, cross the ankles, come over onto hands and knees, tabletop position. Inhale, drop your belly for a cow pose, stretch all of that out. And then exhale, press and round your spine for cat pose. A few more like that. Inhale, cow pose, belly drops, heart lifts. Exhale, press, round the spine. 1 more, inhale. And exhale, round head drops. Inhale, come to a neutral spine and pause. And then you'll tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back, coming into downward facing dog. So first downward facing dog of the day for most of us. Be gentle to yourself. You can bend one knee and release the opposite heel. And then maybe switch, just pedaling out the legs. You can shake out the head and neck and blubber the lips. Maybe you want to roll forward. Still breathing here. So the right hip is stacked over the left hip. All of the funny Instagram technical difficulties. Sorry for that pause. And then start to draw big circles in the air with the right knee, creating some space in your right hip socket. Just like we did on our back. And then reverse direction of the circle. Take it the other way. Re-extend your right leg long behind you, keep your hips level, and then exhale, step your right foot in between your hands. Drop your left knee onto the earth. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead, opening the front body. And then exhale, hands come down to frame the front foot, step your left foot forward to a forward fold. Press your hands into your shins, inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, fold again. Inhale, come all the way up to stand, arms reach up overhead at the top of your inhale. And then exhale, hands come to prayer at heart center. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, little bend in the knees, fold back down into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. And then exhale, fingertips to the earth. Your right foot steps to the back of the mat, right knee touches down. Inhale, arms lift up overhead, opening the front side of the right body now. And then exhale, hands come down to frame the front foot, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin, bum stays sticking up in the air. Find a little back bend. Inhale, forward, hip bones touch down, heart lifts, low cobra. And then exhale, upper body lowers onto the earth. Inhale, press up through bent knees into downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. Inhale, reach the left leg into the air. Now bend the left knee, stack the left hip, reach your left foot towards the right side of the room. Breathe into the opening now in the front of the left side. That left hip flexor, so as maybe feeling it a little bit. And then when you're ready, start to draw big circles in the air with the left knee, creating some space in your left hip socket. Reverse direction of the circle, take it the other way. And then re-extend your left leg long behind you. As you exhale, step your left foot in between the hands, drop the right knee onto the earth. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. And then exhale, hands come down to frame the front foot. Right foot meets the left in the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, fold again. Inhale, all the way up to stand, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands come to prayer at heart center. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. And then exhale, fold, put a little bend in the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, step the left foot to the back of the mat, left knee touches the earth. Inhale, arms reach up overhead, open the left side. Exhale, hands come down to frame the front foot, step back, down dog. Inhale, forward, plank position. As you exhale, lower knees, chest, chin, can they all land at the same time? Inhale, low cobra, hip bones touch down, heart lifts. Exhale, lower back to the earth. Inhale, come up through bent knees into downward facing dog. Take 5 breaths to land in down dog. If you need to land in child's pose, take child's pose. It's always a good choice. You have 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale all the air out. Hold empty, bend the knees. Walk your feet to the front of the mat. Inhale into a halfway lift, long spine. Exhale to fold again. Inhale, come all the way up to stand, arms reach up overhead. And then exhale, hands come to prayer at heart center. Wiggle your big toes together. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. We'll flow here for a bit. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step the right foot to the back of the mat. Right knee touches the earth. Fingertips stay on the ground. Inhale, heart lengthens forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank position. Exhale, chaturanga, so just halfway down if you can. Inhale, up dog or low cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right leg lifts straight up into the air. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Find a little tap. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Find a little tap. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, right knee into the nose. Hold there. Hollow the belly. Find your core. Step the right foot through. Drop the left knee down. Inhale, reach the heart forward. Fingertips stay on the earth. Exhale, left foot meets right at the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold again. Inhale all the way up to stand, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands come to prayer. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, we fold, put a little bend in the knees. Inhale into your halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, left foot to the back of the mat, left knee touches the earth. Inhale, lengthen your heart forward, keep your fingertips on the ground. And then exhale, step back, down dog. Inhale, forward, plank position. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right into the second side, inhale the left leg into the air. Exhale, left knee, left elbow, find your core. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, left knee, right elbow, find a twist. Inhale, up and back. One more, exhale, left knee into the nose, hollow your belly, hold. Step the left foot through. Drop the right knee down, inhale, reach your heart forward, let your hips sink for a moment. And then exhale, right foot meets the left at the front of the mat. Inhale into your halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, come all the way up to stand, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands come to prayer at heart center. Continuing on, inhale, reach the arms up overhead. I hope you're still breathing. Exhale, fold, put a little bend in the knees. Inhale, halfway lift, wiggle your big toes together. Walk or float back, chaturanga as you exhale. Upward facing dog as you inhale. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Inhale your right leg into the air. Bend the right knee, stack the right hip once more. Now this time maybe lift up onto the left tippy toes and go ahead and flip your dog. Coming all the way over, right foot comes to the left side of the mat. Press into the left foot to lift your hips, reach your heart forward, open the front body. One more breath, inhale. As you exhale, flip right back over, three-legged dog. Can you keep your right leg lifted? Inhale here. Exhale, step the right foot in between the hands. Keep the left knee lifted. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale to land. One more breath, inhale. Exhale, hands come down to frame the front foot. Left foot meets the right at the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold again. Inhale all the way up reach up overhead. Exhale, fold right back down into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, the right foot to the back of the mat, left knee bends. High lunge, inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, sink into this pose. Take another breath in. And then exhale, hands come down to frame the front foot, downward facing dog, left foot meets the right. Inhale, forward plank position. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing dog as you inhale. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Inhale your left leg into the air. Now bend the left knee, stack the left hip, reach the left foot towards the right side of the room. You're welcome to stay right here, maybe lift onto the right tippy toes and flip your dog. The left toes land lightly on the right side of the mat. Press into the right foot, lift your hips, reach your heart forward, open out. One more breath, inhale. As you exhale, can you come right back over and keep your left leg lifted right into three-legged dog. And then step your left foot through, high lunge. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward at the front of the mat, right foot meets the left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold again. Inhale all the way up, stand arms, reach up overhead. Exhale, hands come to prayer. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, fold back down into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, the left foot to the back of the mat. High lunge, inhale, reach your arms up. And then exhale, hands come down, downward facing dog. This is the end of this sequence. Inhale, forward plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. You guys are killing it. Exhale, downward facing dog. I know I said I wouldn't make it too fiery, and then here we go. I'm super sweaty. It's just the way I roll. If you need a child's pose, take a child's pose. You've got 4 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath in. And a long breath out. So if you're in child's pose, go ahead and come up, meet me in downward facing dog. We'll look forward at our hands. Let all the air out, bend your knees, find a little core engagement, and then jump your feet forward to the front of the mat. Inhale into a halfway lift. Press your hands to your shins, lengthen out. Exhale, fold again. Inhale, come all the way up to stand arms, reach up overhead. And then exhale, hands come to prayer at heart center. Ooh, Katasana chair pose. Sink your hips down low, lift your heart up high. We're only gonna do 1 round of sun B. We'll move a little slower for this one. Just getting a little bit more into the strength in the legs. Just really sit your hips down and back like you're trying to put your sit bones in a chair that I'm sliding away from you. And at the same time, can you hug your inner thighs together? Feel your front ribs knit together. Everything is nicely engaged. Take 1 more inhale here. As you exhale, straighten your legs, fold forward. Inhale, long spine, keep your hands to the earth. And then exhale, lean some weight in the hands. See if you can jump back, chaturanga. Inhale into your upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg into the air, keep your hips level. Exhale, step your right foot in between the hands for warrior 1. So the left heel pivots down at a 45-degree angle, reach your arms up overhead. Sink deep into the front knee. Now I want you to feel your frontal hip bones. Just gently start to lift up towards the low ribs. And the low ribs just kind of lengthen down towards the hip bones. So we're not rounding the spine, but we're working some deep core engagement, a little bit of internal lift. 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. And as you exhale, hands come down to frame the front foot. Step right back into downward facing dog. We'll skip that vinyasa because we've done enough. Inhale the left leg into the air. Keep your hips level. And then exhale, step your left foot in between the hands. Pivot the right heel down. Come right up into warrior 1. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, let your hips sink. And then again, can you find that hip Bones lifting up towards the low ribs. Low ribs just lengthen towards the hip bones. So you feel engagement in the front and the back body. And then draw your left hip back, right hip forward so you feel lengthening the whole right side. Root down through the pinky toe edge of the right leg and then ground into the left foot. Strength through both feet. Take one more breath in here. As you exhale, hands come down to frame the front foot, downward facing dog. I'm going to give you an optional vinyasa here. Take it or leave it. If you leave it, stay in down dog or take a child's pose. You're going to vinyasa. We'll come forward into plank. Exhale to chaturanga. Inhale to your back bend. And then exhale to down dog. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale here. Hold empty, bend the knees. Look at your hands. Really root your hands into the earth. Can you jump your feet forward? Just trust yourself. Inhale into a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Big toes are together. Zip the inner thighs. Utkatasana chair pose. Sink your hips down low. Lift your heart up high. 5 more breaths here. Hug your inner thighs together. Sit your hips down and back and then lift your heart towards the upper corner of the room. Find your Ujjayi breath. One more big deep breath in. Long breath out. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. And then exhale, bring your hands to prayer at heart center. Shake out the legs, they may be talking to you. And then take your feet hips distance apart. Bring your hands to your hips. Inhale here. And then as you exhale, put a little micro bend in the knees and just fold the upper body forward over the legs. You can measure here and make sure that your feet are hips distance apart by taking 2 fists between your big toes. And then your first 2 fingers grab hold of your big toes. Inhale into a long spine. Feel your shoulder blades drawing down your back. And then as you exhale, you'll bend your elbows towards either side of the room. Let the head and neck go. See if you can imagine you're a bobblehead here. Just really letting any tension, anything you're holding on to in the head and neck go, and your head just hang. Breathe into the backs of the legs. Two more breaths. Last one here, inhale. Exhale. Go and release your fingers from your toes. Inhale into a halfway lift. We'll take that fold just a little bit deeper. Padangustasana. Slide the whole palm underneath the bottom of the foot. Palms face up. Feel your toes curl up the wrist crease. You can have a little bend in your knees. That's totally a-okay. Inhale, your heart reaches forward. Shoulder blades draw down the back. And then exhale, upper body folds, and you breathe. Your kneecaps lift up towards your hip sockets. Feel length in the back of the legs. And 3 more breaths here in this forward fold. So forward folds are nice and cooling and quieting. See if you can come back to that after that warm up. We really got moving. Take 1 more breath in and a long breath out. Go ahead and release your hands from your feet. You can palm the mat and then start to wiggle your feet out towards the edges of your mat. We're going to come into Malasana Yogic Squat. So turn your toes out slightly so you've got a little external rotation in both hips. And then sink your hips, bring your elbows into your knees and press the hands together. Now I want you to press into the bottoms of the feet, hug the knees into the elbows, and then really actively press the elbows back into the knees. Now can you lift your hips just half an inch up so that we're not hanging in the ligaments, but we're working from a place of activation in the legs. 3 deep breaths here, inhale. Exhale. 2 more. 1 more inhale. Exhale. Now if you want a little bit of extra fire, you can plant your hands on the earth. Here's a great place to move into crow pose. Bringing your knees gaze up into your armpits, shift your weight forward. Maybe lift one toe at a time, maybe lift both feet up towards the bum. If you're not taking crow, you can stay in Malasana or come right into downward facing dog. Those of you arm balancing, take 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. And then exhale, lower your feet, maybe jump back to Chaturanga. We'll all meet in downward facing dog, somehow. One more breath in your downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale your right leg up into the air. Keep your hips level. And then exhale, step your right foot in between the hands for warrior one. Pivot your left heel down. Arms reach up overhead. Take a breath in warrior one. Inhale here. Exhale. Next inhale, open out to warrior two. So front knee bends 90 degrees, shoulders stack over the hips. Take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale, flip the front palm, reverse your warrior, breathe into the right side ribs. Lean back into space. One more breath here, keeping the front knee bent. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, back up, warrior two. And then extended side angle, right forearm to thigh. Or right hand inside front foot, reach the left arm overhead. A few deep breaths in. And long breaths out. One more here, inhale. Now, as you exhale, drop the left hand, lift the left heel, and then reach the right arm right up towards the sky. So you come into an open twist in your high lunge. Big, deep breath in. Exhale, really wring it out. Keep your left thigh lifted. One more breath, inhale. And then as you exhale, right hand comes down to the earth. Drop your left knee onto the earth and begin to wiggle the right foot off to the right. We're going to take a little variation in the lizard lunge, trying to get into the hips a little more deeply. So you'll turn your right toes kind of towards like 2 o'clock, a little external rotation in the right hip. Bring your right hand just below the knee, press the right hand into the knee. Keep the right ankle flexed so that the ankle and the knee are going to move off to the right together. Right shoulder leans back. And you breathe here. A few deep breaths in. Long breaths out. One more inhale. And exhale. Go to plant the right foot back onto the ground. Right fingertips to the earth. Bring your hands to your blocks if you have them. If not, you can just palm the mat. Straighten the right leg. Bring your hips over the left knee. I like to inch my right heel forward a few inches. Or coming into half splits pose, half Hanumanasana. Isometrically drag the heels of the hands back so you can reach your heart forward. And then the right hip draws back, left hip draws forward. So you have a little scissor action in the inner thighs. You can stay right here if this is enough in the hamstring. If you want a little more, just bend the elbows and start to fold over that straight right leg. A few deep breaths in and out. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. As you inhale, bend right back into the right knee. Move your blocks off to the side, but have them handy in case you need them. And then we're going to come into an upright pigeon. So you're going to walk your right ankle towards the left wrist. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, scoot your hips back. Let's keep the left toes tucked for this. Walk your hands back underneath the shoulders. Draw your right hip back, left hip forward. So I want you to feel that activation in the hips, a little scissoring in the inner thighs. Lift the crown of the head up towards the sky. Breathe. Some of you may be able to scissor your inner thighs so much that you lift your arms up overhead. 3 deep breaths in and out. One more inhale. And then as you exhale, bring your hands down to the earth, and then you can come into the reclined pigeon, everybody's favorite place to be. Untuck the toes, start to walk your arms forward. Let yourself kind of plop down into it and settle. And we'll take 5 breaths here. breaths in this pigeon pose. One more here, inhale. And exhale. Go ahead and press your hands into the earth. Walk your hands right back up underneath your shoulders. Tuck the left toes, lift the left knee, reach your right leg straight up and back, three-legged dog. Now from here, you're gonna step into standing splits. You're gonna look at your hands, step the right foot through. The second the right foot plants, lift the left leg straight up into the air. Inhale, think long spine. And then exhale, fold the upper body over the right leg. Can you lift the left leg 1 inch higher? Maybe wrap your right hand around the back of the shin. One more breath, inhale. And then as you exhale, lower the left foot down next to the right, shake it out. Inhale into your halfway lift, long spine. And then exhale, fold again. Inhale, come all the way up to stand, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands come to prayer at heart center. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold back down into a forward fold, little bend in the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, walk or float, chaturanga. Upward facing dog as you inhale. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Inhale your right leg into the air. Now exhale, draw your right knee into the nose, but stay in down dog. Flex the right ankle, cross the right ankle over the left knee. Start to put a little bend in the left knee and walk your hands back to your left foot. So you have a figure 4 with the legs. Sink your hips down low like you're coming into Utkatasana chair pose. Lift the heart, bring the hands to prayer. So you have a figure 4 with the right ankle, right hip. Let the right knee feel heavy down towards the earth. Take one more inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Shake out the right leg, release it, and let all that go. We get to do all of that on the second side. I'm just gonna turn around so you can see me. Stay where you are. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold right back down into your forward fold. Inhale into a halfway lift, long spine. Plant the hands onto the earth, walk or float back, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Inhale the left leg into the air. And then exhale, step your left foot in between the hands. Pivot the right heel down. Inhale into your warrior 1. Exhale, sink into the hips. Root down through the pinky toe edge of the right foot. One more breath like this, inhale. Exhale. Next inhalation, open out, warrior 2. So the left knee bends. Think about a heel to arch alignment. One more inhale. Exhale. Flip the front palm, reverse your warrior. Breathe now into the left side ribs. One more breath here, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, right back upright, and then exhale, come into your extended side angle. So forearm to thigh or left hand inside left foot, reach the right arm overhead. Can you open the barrel of the torso, look up towards the ceiling? One more breath in. Now as you exhale, the right hand comes to the earth, the right heel lifts. Lift the left arm up towards the sky, take a twist. Inhale. Exhale, really ring it out. One more breath like this, inhale. Exhale. Bottom of the exhale, lower the left hand, right knee. Start to move the left foot off to the left, and then turn your left toes towards like 10 o'clock. The clock's always hard for me. Take your left hand just below the knee and press the hand into the knee as you straighten your arm. So you'll keep your left ankle flexed, so the knee and the ankle kind of splay off to the left together, getting into a nice openness in the left hip. Let the right hip sink to the ground, and then just open your torso gently off to the left. A few deep breaths in, long breaths out. Exhale here. And then go ahead and plant the left foot onto the ground. Walk the left foot towards the midline. Bring your hands to the blocks if you have them, coming into your half splits pose. You'll straighten the left leg. You can inch your left heel forward a few inches. Reach your collarbones towards your toes, long spine. Isometrically draw the heels of the hands back, shoulder blades back. Left hip draws back, right hip draws forward, and then go ahead and bend your elbows, folding over the left leg. 2 deep breaths in. Long breaths out. Last one here, inhale. Exhale. Go ahead and bend back into the left knee. You can move your blocks off to the side and then go ahead and wiggle the left ankle towards the right wrist, coming into that upright pigeon. So you'll tuck your right toes, lift your right knee, scoot your hips back. Now, I want you to keep the back toes tucked. Start to draw your left hip back, right hip forward so you feel some activation in the hips. Walk your hands back underneath the shoulders and lift the crown of the head towards the sky. Stay right here with a little support of the fingers on the ground, or maybe lift the arms up. Keep breathing. Really hug into the midline if your arms are up off the ground. 2 more breaths. Last one, inhale. And then as you exhale, just go ahead and let everything relax down onto the earth. Walk your hands forward, lower your forearms onto the ground, and then you can plop into whatever version of pigeon pose feels best for you. So forearms down, or maybe forehead all the way to the ground. A few deep breaths in, long breaths out. Take one more here, inhale. Exhale. Go ahead and plant your hands onto the earth, lift the upper body. So you're gonna tuck your right toes, lift your right knee, come right into that 3-legged dog. So the left leg lifts right into the air. Now we're gonna step into the standing splits from here. So step your left foot in between the hands, press into the left foot, reach the right leg straight up towards the sky. Inhale, long spine, and then exhale, fold the upper body over the lower body. Lift your right leg a little bit higher. One more breath here, inhale. Exhale. Go ahead and release the right foot onto the ground. Inhale into a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to come all the way up to stand, arms reach up overhead. And then exhale, hands come to prayer at heart center. Almost done with this left side. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold right back down into your forward fold. Plant the palms on the earth. Inhale, reach your heart forward. Here's your last vinyasa of the day. Jump back or step back. Upward facing dog as you inhale. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Inhale your left leg up into the air. Now stay in down dog as you draw your left knee into the chest. Flex the left ankle, cross the left ankle on top of the right knee, just above it. Put a little bend in the right knee and then start to walk your hands back towards your foot. Sink your hips, keep the left foot flexed as you come up into this figure 4. So it's like you're in Utkatasana, but just one leg with the bonus of this outer hip opening. See if you can let your left knee be heavy as you sink your hips down and back any more deeply. 2 more breaths here, inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come all the way up. Shake out the left leg, release the left foot. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And then exhale, fold all the way back down. Inhale, walk forward into your downward facing dog. Exhale, just get real heavy here. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, you're gonna walk or float to sit, whatever feels good for you. gonna turn to face you. You can stay wherever you are. We're gonna take Hip'pie Vinyasa. So wide-legged forward fold. You'll take your feet out wide, outside of your mat, or maybe you wanna come to the long edge of your mat. I like to take my hands to the legs and really roll the legs back. Like if they were wheels, they're rolling backwards. So right on the sit bones, and the knees and the toes point straight up towards the sky. Extend out through the bottoms of both feet. Feel some activation in the legs. Fingertips come to the earth. Inhale, long spine. And then as you exhale, begin to walk yourself forward any amount. Forearms can come to the ground. Your head can drop on your block, whatever feels good for you. And we still have that external rotation in our hips, which we've been working on, but we're getting that bonus in the inner thighs, which is probably a newer sensation. We haven't found that as much in our standing poses today. And you can take a peek at your toes and your knees and make sure that they continue to point up towards the sky. Really root your sit bones down into the earth. Take 3 more breaths here. Inhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Press your hands into the earth, lift your elbows, walk the hands back. You're gonna take your hands underneath your knees and just gently bring the bottoms of the feet together, setting yourself up for Baddha Konasana. So for Baddha Konasana, hands come to the bottoms of the feet, and I want you to open the bottoms of the feet up towards the ceiling, like you're opening a book. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, press the pinky toe edges of the feet together. Notice how that drops your knees a little bit closer to the earth. And then begin to fold the upper body into the legs. My elbows actually sometimes hit my inner thighs here, and I can just gently traction the inner thighs a little bit more open. 3 deep breaths in and out. One more here, inhale, and exhale. Now as you inhale, come all the way up to sit, and then you're gonna take your hands outside your knees and just gently bring your knees together. Wrap your arms around your legs, bring your head into the knees, and just curl up into a nice little ball. Now we're gonna end in an internal rotation for our hips. We've done a lot of external rotating. So by taking an internal rotation, we'll just bring a little bit more balance into the hips. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a Virasana, or a hero's pose. So as you can see at home, I'm setting myself up with my 2 blocks. I've got one block on my medium height, lengthwise, and then the other block up on the tallest height. If you don't have blocks at home, and you know you have some openness in this pose, you can always grab a pillow, just lay a pillow back here, or you could just not use any props and stay upright. So you'll come onto your shins and bring your knees together. Bring your hands to the back of the legs, and I want you to roll the flesh away from the legs. So as you sit your sit bones down, you come right in between the lower legs. The ankles hug the hips. Now you'll see that your hips are internally rotating rather than externally rotating. This may be plenty for you right here. Just bring your hands to the thighs, close your eyes, and breathe. If you want to come a little bit deeper, you'll roll back and let the blocks catch you. So the long block comes in between the shoulder blades, and then the taller block comes right behind the head. Again, if you can come back farther, you can come all the way onto your back, or you can let a pillow or a bolster catch your back. Bring your palms up and let your shoulder blades roll down the back. And then let yourself settle into this shape. As much as you can, feeling your hip bones and hip creases sink down towards the earth. A few deep breaths in here, letting everything cool down. Long breaths out, just trusting that the floor, the props,